slide. But before jumping to the demystification, we should know what is the history of design thinking. So it was first introduced in 1987 on architecture and urban planning, and it predates that Robert McKim of Stanford University School of Engineering introduced a similar iterative. This actually design thinking is an iterative process. It is iterative, it is interpolative, we can say like that. So iterative design process in 73, and that was expanded by engineer Rolf Faste at Stanford in 80s and 90s. So basically design thinking, as I said, is found its way into business world when David Kelley, who founded IDEO in 1991. But you can see nowadays design thinking is used worldwide by the companies, startups, and schools, including Infosys and Sprint. So it is a 21st century business skill which is leveraged and continuously leveraging by everyone, may it be engineers, marketers, designers, business leaders, and other professionals. I can say now in pandemic situation by medical professionals also. So the first and foremost thing which any startup, any individual, any corporate, any businessman, or any industry, the first and foremost fundamental things to understand about what is design thinking, if it is it a process or is it a mindset, are that first of all you should understand very clearly that it is a human centered. I said empathy. It is a human centered and people powered, which keeps the stakeholders engaged as fast as possible during this process of design thinking. So it is an essential and transformational experience for fueling creativity among all. That's why when I say any innovation ecosystem, which is need of the hour, and design thinking is also a part of it because it happens to fuel the creativity. And prototyping, which is, as you know, everyone knows what is prototyping. It is a part of the ideation process. When you have an idea, you have to first ideate it, then you have to prototype it, then only you can showcase it to the world that my idea is prototype for which is now having the proof of business concept. And also parallelly you can go for patenting of your idea, but without prototyping it is difficult, it is not possible for getting the patent rights. So this design thinking also have the fundamental things of prototyping, which is about building to think and test your ideas. So design thinking is a process, very short and crisp process of 5 pillars where you can build, where you can think, you can ideate, and you can test your ideas. Now, secondly, if it comes to generating a valuable problem statements, suppose you are in a position to can say that you are generating a valuable problem statements or pain points for generating ideas, then following criteria are necessary, whether you are going to design thinking or whether going through other mode of systems which is development management, which is evolving and also available in earlier also. For it you need to be very specific, you need to be open minded, means optimistic. You have to make rooms for lots of ideas without about a key topic or area. You cannot focus for a wider subjects. You have to frame your problems positively. You have to avoid using any negative languages, means pessimistically. You have to aspirational. You have to avoid too many criteria that stifle your divergent thinking. You have to focus, as I said time to time, that primarily on ideal human experience. You have to focus on people. Business and organizations are important, but problems should always focus on personal point of view. So this similarly for the demystifying design thinking. Now the question is what it is and why you should implement it. So before it, we discuss why companies are looking to design thinking to address the growing complexity of the market. So it is not to be defined. Everyone knows about it after this pandemic situation. So every company is looking for design thinking so that they can have a very scientific, crisp, and very simple method consisting of 5 pillars to understand the human-centric issues and how to solve it, having the human-centric approach. So it is a working definition of design thinking and how it can be applied to project-based initiatives. The three valuable benefits which can be adopted and implemented, design thinking can bring to your organization. And also, when learned and applied correctly, the design thinking can help business leaders stay competitive in today's increasingly VUCA world. VUCA means volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. It is not only for the industries, but also for the education institutions, for the individuals also, because we all are now in this environment called VUCA, that is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And design thinking has a very prominent role to play to sort out the issue in this VUCA world. So in slide second, that this is now the design thinking is suited. Why design thinking? So why we have mystified this? Because it is important as it is addressing a wide range of challenges and it's best used for bringing about innovations happening a innovation ecosystem within the following context of like if I want to redefine the value of my organization, if you want to redefine the value of my education institution, if you want to redefine the value of my products as a startup or my products and services, then design thinking is required. Human-centered innovations, so all the innovations which needs to happen and is happening should be human-centered. This is part of the design thinking. It will improve the quality of life because once human-centered innovation, obviously it will improve the quality of life. It also context in the context also contains the problems which are affecting diverse group of people across the transnational. It also involves multiple systems, systems which are old, systems which are evolving, and systems which are new. It is also in the context of shifting markets and behavior in the pandemic situation. We have seen the loss of lot of disruptions has happened in the markets and behavior of the customers, and how to cope with the rapid social and market changes. Continue to it in the next slide. I put more points like it also incorporates and take the context of like issues which are related to the cultural corporate culture, related to new technology like artificial intelligence or AI-enabled tools. Reinventing business model is a very serious thing, which is now being faced by all startup and MSMEs, medium and small enterprises, that they are find difficult for reinventing their business models due to the agility of the situation. So for this, the design thinking is also a you can say panacea, addressing a rapid changes in society. It's also going to solve the complex unsolved societal challenges which we have faced till date, and scenarios involving multidisciplinary teams consisting of like HR, marketing, operations, the sales, the designers, and all these things. And it will create in the context of entrepreneur initiatives like Atmanirbhar and all these innovation centers, Atal Innovation Center, or everywhere. The context of design thinking has playing a very prominent role. Education advances related to education institutions in context of NEP 2020. You also know that medical breakthroughs like you see in the vaccines this how these vaccines have evolved so fast, so because it has a consideration of like faster solutions with step by step. Inspiration is needed in the concept of design thinking. Without inspiration, the ecosystem of innovations cannot happen. It is also known to everyone. And problems that data cannot solve. We cannot say that all our problems will be solved by AI using the data analytics or big data, but there are some of the problems which only data cannot solve because there is a lack of empathy. So this empathy part needs to be focused, which is through design thinking. So in next slide, so why design thinking? Again, repeating to all of you for better understanding that today's really demand innovations. We want innovations and empathy for the customers. That is the priority based. Customers are not only looking for the best services, but they are looking into the best experiences. So for these reasons, you might have nowadays you must have learned about UX, UI. That is the user's experience, user inferences, and all you can say users feeling of the things, how they have taken it. So these are basically the results of the empathy. And design thinking also addresses all the pressing concerns and questions and divides this insurmountable task into smaller doable tasks. As I said, design thinking takes into part of the problem, and so that part by part we can have multi-layered solutions adapted for a bigger problem. Then statistics and market research can give a very certain insights, but spending with the end users, the insights become more tangible with the help of design thinking. Then failing fast and or falling fast and quickly through the prototyping help you eliminate weak areas in design thinking because you are focusing on micro level. And design thinking breaks your preconception of what a good solution would be and unleashing the new undiscovered possibility that is out of box thinking and also lead you to more desirable and human solutions. So your prejudiced solutions is now no more applicable.